Hello class, and today we will be moving on to into the Crystal Cave area and finishing off Seat the Scaleless so that we can finish the area, claim our final Lord Soul, and then get onto the DLC, just so we can show you guys that, as this is a walkthrough. Anyway, so let's head down here. You may have noticed this earlier, and it looks kinda like a staircase of some sort, and you'd be right. Just go ahead and pull this lever, and here we are. So, first thing you're going to notice is this guy, of course. So just go ahead and get rid of him with one clean backstab. Over here is a treasure chest. I actually didn't notice on my first playthrough here. So go ahead and grab it. It's 20 prism stones. This is going to be extremely useful in the next area. Basically, what you can do with them is you use them as an item, and then they break. You throw them onto the ground. They break. They leave a little colory sparkle thing. You can throw it down pits and judge by the sound whether the fall will kill you or not. So it's good for falls and stuff like that. So you can use that in the next area. You will see how useful it is once we finish up this bit here. So you may see the golden crystal golem out in the middle there. We're actually going to go kill that. And if we had killed this before we went to Lost Izalith, we might actually be able to save Siegmeyer. And get the titanite slab instead of the speckled stone plate ring. As it is now, all we can do really is rescue her, just to show you what you should have done. So, and yeah, just make sure you give it a few good swings. It's not that powerful as with most of the other crystal golems, especially to us. Here's Sigdaline. So basically just female Siegmeyer with a claymore instead of a Zweihander. So, yeah. So, yes, actually we have. So we just told her that we had seen him, but there's no option to tell her that he's dead. But anyway, I think she's gonna go get herself killed now, so I'm not sure where she'll show up, but, well, oh well. Let's just continue on with the area, because that questline is no longer important, as we've pretty much finished it anyway. So let's just get rid of these crystal golems. They're only slightly more powerful than the ones in the lake area down in the Darkroot Basin. So basically, instead of the single tap, we're going to have to resort to the double tap as usual, as nothing, not even crystal golems, can stand up to the double tap. So, and well, that's not quite enough to kill him, so just one more would do. And as with most treasures in this area, it's just another titanite chunk. So, over this way, and there's 3 more gathered around nothing, I think. So we're actually going to be a little bit more careful with this one, because I'm not sure we can take 3 at once easily. And apparently I'm not going to. Anyway, one of the grievances of post-commentary, especially when you film a video way before you talk over it, is that you never really know what you're going to do. Anyway, so that's probably why I'm going to be switching back to live commentary for my next playthrough, because I actually have a computer that'll run it just fine and record my voice at the same time. So there we go, lucky us. Anyway, let's just explore this area a little bit more. There's never know what you could find, and I'm pretty sure there's actually an armor set in this area, probably right behind this guy, if my hunch is correct. I can't get up this ledge for some reason, unfortunately. Let's just let him come down to us. Thank you. Much obliged. And double tap. There we go. So let's now that we've cleared him out, let's go see if there's anything else. And here's the armor set I was looking for, I'm pretty sure. The crystal set. It's basically armor that has a really high defense for its weight, I'm assuming. It's basically just a slightly more powerful knight set, elite knight set. So you can wear that if you want to, but right now we have Havels, so we're set. Anyway, so now you can see we're getting a more close-up view of these crystals. They're actually way bigger than you thought, and there's actually a really big opening in the middle. So we can head down into there once we've finished clearing out these golems. So there's actually a much easier way around this. You don't have to circle around the whole thing. You just come down from the ladder directly down into here. You can run past all these crystal golems with their mid-roll if you want to, but and it's generally pretty hard for them to follow you down into the crystal cave. And most of them will actually fall off, so be well advised to do that. Although if you want to, you can fight through 5 crystal golems. These two, one of the other ones have actually only 4, I think. There's one up in a little alcove by the ladder, one that's between the ladder and these two guys. So you can just come down this way if you want to. And that's the way I'll be using most of the time, although there are a few more crystal golems. Must kill all the crystal golems. Anyway, one good running attack and one good heavy attack, and we're set. So, in case you're wondering, while you're dashing, you can actually just press the quick attack button and you'll do a special running attack as well. There's a lot of things that I've left you to discover on your own that I'm only now telling you. Like special attacks, like jump attack and stuff. Anyway, so you kill that guy, the guy that we just killed, and the 2 guys down there, and you're set. So there's a blue titanite chunk that these guys sometimes drop. An interesting little tidbit is whenever the crystal golems actually enter the crystal cave, they change to a slightly more bluish tinge, even when they're just stepping on that little peninsula of crystal there. So it's kind of funny to watch. Anyway, we're now descending into the crystal cave. Ooh. So it's a really big chasm area, basically. So it's down this way, and there's one more crystal golem. You have to fight on some pretty narrow passageways. But if you know what you're doing, he should be pretty easy. And as you can see, although his attacks do stagger, they don't do much damage against us. Especially when we have our 20 Estus from the fully kindled Firelink bonfire. So we're pretty much set for this. And you can run past most of these crystal golems if you want to. It's actually a lot easier. So now I can show you guys some invisible paths you can take. So right here, you can see the snowflakes and they're breaking against something. It's an invisible path. As you can see, we're walking on it. And it looks like we're walking on nothing. This actually repeats itself a few times later in this area, and it's actually mandatory a couple times. I actually died there because I was stupid enough to attack the Moonlight Butterfly without any ranged attacks, and this is a kind that does not land. So, yeah, be careful with the be careful of the butterflies. Anyway, there's a developer message to help you along your way. Just follow the breaking snowflakes, and here we are. There is a golden crystal golem, I think. These kind don't respawn, although this path is kind of slippery, so we're going to use some of our pyromancies. And as you can see, it doesn't do much, so just be very careful that you don't get knocked off. And these guys are actually pretty hard to fight in this area. Let's just stick with our sword for now. Ooh, that was close. If he had pushed us back at all, we would be dead right now. Anyway. Ooh, yeah. Use your dodge roll to its greatest extent. It keeps you from being knocked back like that. So this area is very fond of cheap knockback physics for these guys. So just be wary of that. Erp. Luckily it did break our poise. And there we go. One golden crystal golem down. There's actually a little secret down this way. If you know where to start, the breaking snowflakes show us the way. It's good to be very careful, although walking won't really help. It'll just let us turn around a little bit faster if we need to. Now, messages can be left along this invisible passageway, so if you want to be a little helpful, just leave a message that says here or something, or praise the sun or something like that, and you can go ahead and do that. I'll leave you to figure out how to leave a message. We already have the soapstone. So down here is Golden Crystal Golem, and he's guarding, I think it's either a humanity or just like another chunk of titanite or something. And I missed. And let's just go ahead and grab the item really quick. No, it's not. Let's wait till we kill this guy because we don't want this guy interfering with our item grabbing skills. Yeah, so we should probably conserve our health because this is not infinite. And there we go. That was a lot easier than other times I've fought this guy. Anyway, over here, and it was just a blue titanite chunk. Anyway, let's head back up because this is actually not the way you're supposed to go. Let's get this right because even though these are straight and narrow, it's still kind of easy to mess up. Well, it's not really narrow. More like just straight. It's actually kind of wide. Take cool screenshots and be like, fly hacks for the win, whatever. But yeah. Anyway, So it's down this passageway, and up into this little spire thing. So over this way is actually a blue titanite slab, one of the only ones in the game, but the path actually twists and turns a little bit, and I really don't want to risk dying again. So if you want to, you can grab the slab, but we're not going to be making any magic weapons anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. So you can just drop down here, which is the way you're supposed to go. A funny little developer written message, imminent fall. Yeah, if you do it wrong. Anyway, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of whole bunch of moonlight butterflies. I think they have a chance of dropping blue titanite slabs, so you can try that if you want. And in case you're wondering where we can get some more twinkling titanite, and remember the crab people that drop purging stones and twinkling titanite, they're actually in this room. There's actually a whole bunch of them just sitting right here. So this is kind of Steve's little personal room. It's got a whole bunch of crabs guarding his primordial crystal thing. And here is the one you must kill first, otherwise they'll all follow you. Be very careful when you're fighting these guys that you don't attract the attention of another one, because these guys can get pretty annoying. Uh-oh. Crabs are coming after us. Or the shells or whatever. You can see the double tap is not quite as effective, but this guy dropped both a twinkling titanite and a purging stone, so that's pretty nice. So you can't actually tell when they drop an item, so you have to actually walk into their bodies just to check, because the light doesn't really shine up through all those little blue skull things that they have collected. So you can run through these guys if you want to, but be warned that they will appear that they will be striking at the fog gate to try and get at you. So just keep that in mind when you're fighting these guys. So it looks like not even the crabs can stand up to the double tap. That's quite fortunate. And double tap. Yeah. So the main reason I don't really like to fight these guys is pretty much just because it's so annoying. I think there's like one more, should be, right there, one that's standing up, and there's actually two more. There's just so many of these guys. But it's a good place to get purging stones and twinkling titanite if you need it. Especially because once we beat Seath, a bonfire will appear, so you can just warp here and warp out of here if you want to. So get him before he gets us. Uh-oh, he's getting back up. There we go. Don't want that to happen. Anywho. So let's go ahead and get rid of this guy too, because we can. Just be wary of their big attacks, because you don't want any of them hitting you, because they will knock back, and they knock back far. Anyway, nothing else. Just one purging stone and one twinkling titanite, so oh well, it's a pretty lucky find. So you might be wondering why there's no fog gate when there's a whole bunch of cursed people. As I may have mentioned earlier, these spikes do have a curse ability, and the fog gate only appears once you enter this room, and it appears for each subsequent boss fight. This is a good opportunity to showcase like your awesome character. There's a pretty good scene. So there's a primordial crystal right over there. It's pretty small and quite fragile, so there's a good screenshot opportunity right there if you want to showcase how awesome your character looks. And Seath apparently can fly. Oh dear. So anyway, he's now on the ground and completely reachable, although his spikes do still pack a punch. So be wary of Seath. You can't actually hurt him until you break the crystal, as with the first boss fight. So here's a trick. Stand here and wait for one of his attacks to break the crystal on its own. This will actually sort of break his poise, in essence, and will stagger him for a moment. So Seath's tail is one of the hardest to break off, but it has one of the greatest rewards. He drops the Moonlight Greatsword, which is one of the most powerful weapons in the game for intelligence users. 16 strength, a little bit of intelligence, but it's a really awesome intelligence weapon if you guys want to grab it. Unfortunately, his tail has attacks of its own, and they're actually really powerful, so it's not recommended that you go after it unless you have a buddy that can circle around behind. Oh, we're standing on the spikes, we're standing on the spikes. Get out, get out, get out. Get out, get out, get out. Ah, there we go. And he cursed us. Yep. Well, this does give me an opportunity to showcase what happens when you get cursed. Well, just cut to Seath as soon as we finish that, of course. So, while cursed, your HP is halved. Lifting the curse requires the dude in New Londo who gave you this key to the seal, or a purging stone, which luckily we looted one right from the crab people right outside his room. What a coincidence! Anyway, I'm getting impatient with this message. Go away. Go away. I want to lift my curse. Let me lift my curse. Go away. Go away. Dark Souls 2. Fix the message lengths. Or at least allow us to dispel them with just a press of a button or something. That took forever. Anyway, so our HP is halved, although it doesn't really halve because the Ring of Favor Protection still grants us HP bonus. And we can't store or use humanity. So now we're back at full. We can go ahead and warp, and we can go ahead and warp back to the Duke's Archives. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut to Seath in a moment. So I have to sit through a loading screen. And here we are at Seath. The magic of the loading screens. So here's the actual fight. I sped it up a bit. So you always have to break the primordial crystal every time. And it's much easier to trick Seath into doing it because it means while his attack is warming up, you can get close to him. And that was way too short-ranged. Seath. Seath. Attack it. Attack it. There we go. That broke it. And, yeah, just give him a few good swings. Whoa. Get out of the spikes. Stay away from the spikes. And the tails. Yeah, the tails are smacking us. Ah, the tails are smacking us. And we're in the spikes again. Get out of the spikes. Get out of the spikes. Get out of the spikes. Heal, heal, heal. Okay. So, unfortunately, the only attack of Seath we can actually block is his tail ones, not that effectively either. So just focus on getting into a good niche spot where his tails can't hit you, like between his... and in case you're wondering, the tail you have to hit to get the tail weapon is actually the backmost tail. So it's actually a pretty nice weapon if you want to go after it, but it's not recommended, because I've never actually been able to do it. So here we finally got the final Lord Soul! And another humanity, because we're just that awesome. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Anyway, the bonfire should be around here somewhere. Right down here, I think. And we forgot to grab our souls. It's right next to the bonfire. Huh, it's kind of lucky, isn't it? Anyway. We covered our lost power, and we can level up a couple times. Although I think we're just going to use it to repair our equipment a bit. So repair, repair, repair. And see if there's anything we can upgrade. The Avalon, yes, I need to go do that. So we're going to upgrade the Avalon into fire, as I may have mentioned earlier, because we need to be able to have some other source of elemental damage, other than just lightning, because it's smart. Anyway, nothing else really here. So let's go ahead and warp to the Undead Parish. No, let's level up once at least. Put, no, not an attunement. Let's just, well, 40 is a good limit. So let's just go ahead and warp back to Firelink. And we can do stuff from there. Anyway. So, let's, there. So I was researching a bit. As you can see by the tab effect of me holding my weapon two-handed. So, let's go do some stuff. Oh, he's sleeping. Let's go and wake him up. Bash his head.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, he's funny when he does that.
Wide awake.
Sure, friend. But you are. Ah, well, it's kind of funny.
I am. Is it?
So, let's go ahead and feed all those items we don't need to him. Maybe we can level up a bit more. Nothing really. So yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the stupid, annoying Framp sounds. Don't worry, it's slightly less annoying in the actual non-sped up game. Sell, 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 sell. Keep those. Sell, 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 sell. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and break down a few chunks. So let's break down a few shards here so we can upgrade a bit. So we're going to break down all our blue shards into green titanite shards and red shards, and no, blue and white shards. We're going to keep the red ones because we're going to need those. So they become green, so we can use those to upgrade to fire. I have a lot of white left. And yeah. Oh, that sounded really funny. Anyway, so you can see we now have 48 green titanite shards, 10 regular titanite shards, and that should be way more than enough to upgrade our Avalon a bit. And we have way more than enough souls to upgrade. So anyway, we should be at our maximum level at 88. That's as much as we should need, at least. So let's go ahead and upgrade this a bit. Up to +5. And now we can head down into the catacombs to upgrade our Avalon into fire. Hold on a moment. Not quite sure what I'm doing here. Perhaps debating whether to go down or not. Let's see if there's a... let's go ahead and pump up our vitality one. It's never hurts to put points into something you'll use. So anyway, and still probably we do have enough. So let's. So yeah, level 90 is pretty good. I think there's a stick there. So anyway, cut out the footage of me getting here because that would be stupid annoying as we've already been there so many times. Anyway, just walk down here. Walk slowly off so we can land here. That was really close. And the skeletons are jumping off the cliff for us. How nice of them. Anyway, let's wait for all of them to fall and walk off ourselves. And one of them dropped a scimitar. That's pretty nice. Anyway, down in here, and we can get our weapons to fire now. Over here. So he's talking about the large fire ember. So let's go ahead and give him that. Okay. Anyway, let's upgrade it to fire, and let's go ahead and reinforce it a bit with our 48 green titanite shards. So we have plenty for that. And there we go. And let's go ahead and send our fire Avalon to that. And while we're at it, we might as well, just in case we come across some red titanite chunks somewhere. And now we have just enough left to get the fire greatsmith a bit. So we now have a fire Avalon +8, which does way more damage than just the regular Avalon. So we can go ahead and use that. And let's go ahead and homeward bone back to Firelink, I think. And from there we can get on with the game a bit. So let's do a few more finishing up touches to the game. Just before we head into the DLC. So let's head to the Daughter of Chaos bonfire so we can grab a few items we missed near the beginning of the Demon Ruins area. So you may remember that there were a few items we couldn't quite get, and then I realized where this was. Doesn't look like there's anywhere better to warp to, so let's just go ahead and grab those items from here. So unfortunately, we didn't get all of the encounters with can't remember his name now, the Darkwraith Kirk. We didn't get all the encounters with Kirk, otherwise they would appear against the back wall that you saw there. Anyway, let's head down this way, and continue to head down this way. So as you may guess, there's only 2 items down here, actually. One of them is just a soul item, as you may expect, but the other one is actually really nice. It is a Chaos Flame Ember, which allows Ascension to Chaos. It is essentially fire damage, except that it scales with the amount of humanity that you have. So it's good for risk takers who like to equip a lot of humanity with them. So there's just our soul paradise, not that great. Anyway, so right out here, directly in the lava, is the Chaos Flame Ember, which allows Ascension to the Chaos state. As I mentioned earlier, it allows your damage to scale with the humanity you have, which is actually quite nice. So it's good if you have a lot of humanity spare on you and you can equip a lot of stuff like that. course, there's other weapons that are naturally chaos, like Quilag's Fury Sword, which is one of her boss soul weapons. So you can actually go ahead and use that, and it scales with your humanity. And it's a pretty nice dex weapon as well. So anyway, let's head down this way. Yeah. Down this way. And down this way. So I mentioned earlier, we're just pretty much just putting the finishing touches on a few areas we might have missed out on. So it's really not all that bad. Just a few things we may have missed near the beginning. As you can see, the Fire Javelin, 195 to a creature who has natural resistance to fire. So that's pretty nice. Anyway, we're going to need to buy a few more bolts soon, but not really. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump down here. Kill the demon statues. Always kill the demon statues. So anyway, now that we can warp from any bonfire, it doesn't really matter where we rest, really. Anyway, down this way. And make sure you get rid of the statues. Always kill the statues. Especially when they're trying to breathe fire on you. Now, to be honest, I'm not quite sure actually what we're doing down here, but I'm sure there's something important we missed. Oh, yes, actually, while I was researching, I noticed there was a way to get a red titanite slab that I had missed earlier in the Siegmeyer area. I probably should have cut out the footage of me getting to Lost Izalith, but, well, it's in here now, so you're gonna live with it. So, it's basically just in the area with Siegmeyer and the Chaos Eater things. There's a red titanite slab, and I'm gonna be spending the rest of the video exploring down there for a while. And, yeah, really not all that great, but, well, it's something to talk over, I guess. Anyway, it's down this way. So, as you may imagine, the final area of the game is actually completely infested with Black Knights. And, as you may recall, the Black Knights always drop a chunk of some sort. So, that's something to remember. It's actually kind of interesting. So, once we get to the final area, we can actually just kill those Black Knights, which respawn in the final area, and get an infinite number of chunks. That is a guaranteed drop from every single one of the knights. So, yeah, we can just go ahead and do that, and we will finally fully upgrade our Eagle Shield and our Fire Javelin. I don't think we'll ever actually get to fully upgrading our other set, the Fire Great Scythe and the Balder Shield, but you can if you want to. It's really just I really just showcase that just to show you an alternate way to play as a dex build. So I spend the rest of my time looking around here for red titanite chunk, although I do find the slab pretty quickly, at least. I need to put the rusted iron ring back on, because walking around here at mid-roll jogging speed while running is not fun. Anyway, so it's not down one of those pits, I can tell you that, because those pits are lethal, and that's for sure. Anyway, down this way. Not actually entirely sure how I missed this my first run, but it's right down here. And here is the only existing, other than random drop, red titanite slab. So we're going to use that once we get enough chunks to upgrade the Fire Javelin, to upgrade our Fire Javelin to +10, which does quite a bit of damage, I can assure you. So we could have done with a few more upgrades to our Pyromancy Flame, but I don't think we'll ever actually get to fully upgrading that either, because before the end of the game, we will go on an NPC rampage, kill every NPC that still exists that's not too terribly difficult, and just show you guys what they drop. Although there are plenty of NPCs that I miss, and I only really kill the ones that have some important reason to be killed. So anyway, yeah. So there is a segment to the last video, maybe second to last or something video, where I just go around and kill everything. So that's there if you want to watch it, but it's not really that important. Anyway, the rest of this video is probably stuff that I forgot to speed up with me just running around here trying to find the way back up again, and more red titanite chunks, which don't actually exist. So I spend a long time looking like a Dumbo on camera. Anyway, So there's a lot of people like the undead merchants and stuff that aren't in, but that aren't near bonfires that you can warp to, that I completely missed out on killing. So it's all you if you want to try and find those guys and kill them. And pretty much every NPC in the game has their own special drop. Like like for Petrus, if you let him kill the Lady Rihanna, which we will check on, he drops the Ivory Talisman, which is a pretty nice talisman in its own right. And there's people like the Undead Merchant, who if you kill, he will drop a really nice dex weapon. It's called the Uchigui Nata, which is basically a katana. So, yeah, there's plenty of people you can go around and murder for a while if you want to. And like for instance, say, I don't know. Well, there's a whole bunch of people. Like you could kill Andre if you wanted to, but I don't think he has any special drops really. So there's nothing really special about him that you would find. But yeah. Although if you do kill him before you buy the Crest of Artorias, you can actually get that from him without paying any money. Although he is a karate master, so he's really, really, really hard to kill. So that's why we didn't kill him. And yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and warp back to our bonfire so that we can head back to the DLC area and get started there. Yeah. So before we go on any NPC killing rampages, let's head to the Ulusile Sanctuary and finish up with the DLC area so we don't get anyone excessively mad. Anyway, warping time. And we just used the Lord Vessel to warp back into the past. Ooh, spooky stuff. Anyway, here we are in the Sanctuary again. Let's go ahead and rest here. And that's all for today. I'll see you guys when we enter the DLC area in the next episode. Class is dismissed.